Yeah, I got you.
So, got some songs for singing meditation. And feel the music, hear the words, and relax. Just let the music and the meaning water the good seeds in us. So we sing number 11, Joy, Peace, Love. There is true joy right here. There is true joy right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true joy right here. There is true peace right here. There is true peace right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true peace right here. There is true love right here. There is true love right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true love right here. Sing one more time. There is true joy right here. There is true joy right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true joy right here. There is true peace right here. There is true peace right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true peace right here. There is true love right here. There is true love right here. And we are so glad that we have found it. There is true love right here. I know. Let's sing number 4, The Island Within. Breathing in, I go back to the island within myself. There are beautiful trees within the island. There are clear streams of water. There are birds, sunshine, and fresh air. Breathing out, I feel safe. I enjoy going back to my island. Breathing in, I go back to the island within myself. There are beautiful trees within the island. There are clear streams of water. There are birds, sunshine, and fresh air. Breathing out, I feel safe. I enjoy going back to my island. Next we can sing Breathing In, Breathing Out, number 2. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am water, reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. For the next one, I want to call all the children that know how to do the breathing in, breathing out, all the hand motions. Come up with us and help us, because I can't use my hands. I can't use my hands for more than one thing.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. There we go. Guys, yeah, you can sit there. Yeah, that works for now. Yeah. Actually, you guys could some sit in the front of us.
Yeah, don't you guys want the spotlight?
Yeah, you guys are the stars of the.
Oh, right, they're gonna do it.
Thanks, Taggy. All right. So you guys know I like. I like the roses, I like the daffodils, I like the mountains, I like the rolling hills, I like the twinkling stars when the sun goes down. Shoobity doobity 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 doo. I like the rabbits, I like the squirrels too, I like the bluebirds, I like the roaming moose, I like all animals like me. Shoobity doobity 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 doo. I like the roses, I like the daffodils, I like the mountains, I like the rolling hills, I like the twinkling stars when the sun goes down. Shoobity doobity 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 doo. I like the rabbits, I like the squirrels too, I like the bluebirds, I like the roaming moose, I like all animals like me. Shoobity doobity 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 doo. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Next we could sing number 20, Whenever I Wake Up. Oh, it's not on the blue sheet? Okay, never mind. That's not on the blue sheet. Oh, no, it is. It's number 15, number 8. Yeah. So yeah, number 15 on the blue sheet, number 20 on the white sheet, whenever I wake up. Whenever I wake up, I feel happy, aware of my eyes. I feel happy, aware of my health. I feel happy because I have learned to look deeply. Whenever I walk, I feel happy. Whenever I sit, I feel happy. Whenever I rest, I feel happy because I have learned to look deeply. Whenever I wake up, I feel happy, aware of my eyes. I feel happy, aware of my health. I feel happy because I have learned to look deeply. Whenever I walk, I feel happy. Whenever I sit, I feel happy. Whenever I rest, I feel happy because I have learned to look deeply. Next one we can do I am a cloud. It might be called I am, yeah. Number 8. Yeah. So please sing with us if you feel like it. I am a cloud. I am the blue sky. I am a bird spreading out its wings. I am a flower. I am the sunshine. I am the earth receiving a seed. And I am free when my heart is open. Yes, I am free when my mind is clear. Oh dear brothers, oh dear sisters, let's walk together mindfully. And I am free when my heart is open. Yes, I am free when my mind is clear. Oh dear brothers, oh dear sisters, let's walk together mindfully. Thank you for practicing singing meditation with us this morning.
Kính thưa quý thầy, quý sư cô và đại chúng, hôm nay mình sẽ tụng bài May the Day Be Well and đầu cành dương liễu. So, dear Thầy Sangha, we will chant May the Day Be Well and đầu cành dương liễu. So, upon page 2 and page 1.
Contemplations before chanting. The Sangha is invited to come back to our breathing so that our collective energy of mindfulness will bring us back together as an organism, going as a river with no more separation. Let the whole Sangha breathe as one body, chant as one body, listen as one body, and transcend the boundaries of a delusive self, liberating from the superiority complex, the inferiority complex, and the equality complex.
Quán niệm trước khi tụng kinh, xin đại chúng trở về với hơi thở và để cho năng lượng chánh niệm tập thể đưa chúng ta về với nhau như một cơ thể, đi như một dòng sông không còn cách biệt. Xin đại chúng tất cả đều thở như một cơ thể, sướng tụng như một người, lắng nghe như một người và vượt thoát biên giới ngã chấp, phá bỏ mặc cảm, hơn người, thua người và bằng người. May the day be well and the night be well. May the midday hour bring happiness to in every minute and every second. May the day and night be well by the blessing of the triple gem. May all things be protected and safe. May all beings born in each of the four ways live in a land of purity. May all in the three realms be born upon lotus stones. May countless wandering souls realize the three virtuous positions of the Bodhisattva path. May all living beings with grace and ease fulfill the Bodhisattva stages. The countenance of the world honor one, like the full moon, or like the orb of the sun, shines with the light cành dương liễu vương cam lồ, một giọt mười phương rơi cung đầy, bao nhiêu trầm lụy yêu tam nên, đạm tràng thanh tịnh ở ngay đây. Nam mô Bồ Tát Thanh Lương Địa. Nam mô Bồ Tát Thanh Lương Địa. Nam mô Bồ Tát Thanh Lương Địa. Trí tuệ bừng lên đoan nghiêm tài, đứng yên trên sóng sân trầm ai, cam lộ chữa lành cơn khổ bệnh, hào quang quét sạch bụi nguy tai, liều biếc vâng thầy muôn thế giới, sẽ mong nở hé vàng lâu đài, cúi đầu ca ngợi dâng hương thỉnh, xin nguyện từ bi ứng nghiệm ấy. Nam mô Bồ Tát Quan Thế Âm. 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 Nam mô Bồ Tát Quan
Just a quick announcement for those of you who have trouble hearing. We have some hearing aids in the back right corner over there in a bucket where you can just put in headphones and it'll connect directly to the audio system rather than hearing it out of the speaker system. So for anybody who wants that, those are available. Thank you.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yes.
If who would like to listen in Vietnamese, we have translation here. Thank you.
Before we begin, I'd like to invite all the children to come closer, come up here, and all the children. You can sit on the podium too.
Nếu mà ai muốn nghe tiếng Việt
You
thì
can sit
có phòng
around
dịch ở đây.
here. You want to sit on the podium, you can too. Or maybe I'll sit up here. Give you more space. Okay. You have space? Okay. Let us sit beautifully. We can face the audience or you can face your friends. And we enjoy our breathing. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. Flower, fresh. Let us enjoy the bell. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel solid like a mountain. Mountain, solid. Breathing in, I see myself as the river. Breathing out, I reflect everything on the surface of the river. River reflecting. Breathing in, I see myself as the spacious sky. Breathing out, I feel free. Space, free. Thank you, children, for practicing together. You want to come up here? No? Okay. Today I'm going to tell you a story. Guess what story it will be? It's called Friendship Saves the Day. Guess what story? It's a story of the deer, the magpie, and the turtle. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah? What else can you see the deer in this room? Is there a deer in this room? Oh, a few deer. Okay. What about behind us? There's one more deer. Okay. There's more deer outside. That's right. So, Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, lived 3 inseparable friends. A wise old turtle named Timmy, and a graceful deer named Daisy, and a clever magpie named Maggie. Whose name is Timmy here? Anyone? Anyone named Daisy? Okay, the deer, that's right. And the magpie is called Maggie, is good. So they spend their days playing hide and seek among the trees, sharing story by the glistening river, and always looking out for one another. And every morning, they usually meet at the lake to talk and to drink the water. So one sunny afternoon, as Daisy was gracefully leaping through the woods, she suddenly found herself caught in a hunter's trap. Timmy and Maggie met at the usual lake, but they didn't see their friend Daisy. Thus, Maggie volunteered to fly around the forest to look for the deer. Finally, they both found her. Her leg was caught in the leather trap, and fear flickered in her eyes. Timmy and Maggie, who were just behind her, gasped in fear. "Oh no, Daisy, are you hurt? What can we do to help her, Timmy?" Maggie said with a worried voice. Timmy calmly replied, "No worries. We'll help you get out of this. Maggie, why don't you fly quickly to the hunter's house and try to prevent him from leaving the house while I try to free Daisy from this trap." So Maggie immediately flew away to the hunter's house. And meanwhile, Timmy, with a slow but steady pace, began to circle the trap, examining it carefully. How slow you think the turtle can walk? Very slowly, right? So he said, "This is a strong net, but perhaps I can gnaw it through some of the ropes." Daisy, though scared, felt a glimmer of hope watching Timmy work tirelessly. "Thank you, my dear friend," she whispered. "You're the best." So Timmy kept chewing and chewing on the same spot, and his strong jaws working to fray the rope further. It was hard work, but Timmy was very tired, his mouth sore and bleeding from chewing. Meanwhile, Maggie was waiting at the hunter's house on the tree nearby. As soon as the hunter stepped out of his house, Maggie pecked at his eyes and flapped the wings in his face. So the hunter was speechless. He didn't know how to react. He tried to go to the back door, but the clever Maggie quickly flew there and did the same thing to him. Flap, 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 flap. And the hunter, thinking it was a bad omen, went back inside and thought, "Today is such an unlucky day. I should rest and perhaps go out later this afternoon." The delay gave Timmy just enough time to finish cutting the trap. By the time the hunter finally arrived, Daisy was free and bolted into the woods. Guess who was left? Timmy, right? However, Timmy was exhausted and could not move fast to hide. The hunter, frustrated by the lost deer, grabbed the turtle and threw it into his bag. Oh no, What's going to happen? And seeing her friend in danger, Daisy reappeared and pretended to limp, leading the hunter on a long chase into the woods. Once the hunter was far away, Daisy doubled back, and with the help of Maggie, they opened the hunter's bag and freed Timmy. All 3 friends escaped safely. From that day on, their friendship grew even stronger. They knew that no matter what challenges they faced, as long as they have each other, they could overcome anything. And they lived happily ever after, exploring the forest and cherishing the bond of friendship. Who is here are friends? Have you made friends yet? Yeah? Who's your friend? Can you point to your friend? Does everyone have a friend? Do you have a friend? I could be your friend. So what do you learn from this story? And can anyone raise their hand? What do you learn from the story? Want to say something? Yes?
Friendship is really strong.
Yeah, friendship is really strong, right? What else?
Like, make sure have friends who always help you. Because maybe if Maggie and Timmy were more on the selfish type and kind of opposite from helpful, then they would not be able to help Daisy.
Wow. So make sure you have a friend in case you need help. And if people were selfish, then something happened to you, no one can help you. Okay. Yeah, that's true, huh? When you have a true friend, they will come and help you when you're in need. What else? Should we say bad things about our friends? No, huh? We should water the good seeds in our friends, right? We call water the flower. Okay. I hope you have more time to reflect on this story. And when you go back to your children program, think about, your friend, or you can make new friend. And when you have a friend, try to be nice to your friend and water that seed of goodness in her or in him. Okay? Okay. Now you can go out and play with the children, other children. When you hear the next sound of the bell, you can stand up, or you want to listen to adult talk too. No, okay. You can stand up now with the small sound of the bell. We stand up and we bow to mom and dad and uncle and aunties and the monks and nuns. We bow, and then we bow to the Buddha. Thank you, children, for practicing together. Have a good day. So the teens, you can stay. This talk's for you too. So let us enjoy 3 sounds of the bell together, coming back to our breathing and being in the present moment. Dear Thai, dear brothers and sisters, dear Sangha, today is the 30th of December, year 2025. We are at Blue Cliff for the holiday retreat. So this year, theme of the retreat is finding stillness and peace. So today I want to touch about finding that stillness and peace. So when you're here, what do you hope to achieve? Without looking at the board, it's supposed to be hidden and then show up, but the computer didn't work. So anyway, without looking up, can I have a few raise of hand? Why are you here? And what you hope to achieve? You can pass the mic around. Maybe you can help pass the mic. Yes, thank you. Thank you. If you can raise your hand, then our friend will pass the mic around. So why are you here and what you hope to achieve? Any volunteer? Don't be shy. Can we turn it on? There's a button to press. Okay. Be more mindful and find more calmness. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes. Maybe we can use the other mic. Yeah.
Practice taking care of myself and experience the process of the practice with more equanimity.
Practice to take care of yourself and explore the practice with equanimity, right? Okay. Another, yes.
I'm hoping to make more sense out of life. And as I get older each year, I think I have 1 year less to make sense out of life.
Yes, to find more meaning in your life, right? To make more sense. That's good. We have a friend up here too. Yeah.
To rest deeply and to reconnect with my Sangha in person. I often connect virtually, so it's nice to connect in person.
To rest and to connect with your Sangha in person. That's good. Anyone else? Yes.
I'm a better and a more patient father for my daughters.
To be more patient? Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for sharing some of the reasons why you're here. And we're very grateful that you're here because without you, there won't be a retreat, right? We would just be the monks and nuns. We would just have our normal winter retreat. So, so we're here to find that stillness, to find that peace, to find that love that is inside of us or around us. And of course, we're here to find the spiritual path, right? Some of us, it might be the first time that you join a retreat. How many of you are here for the first time? Yes, there are a few of us. Yes, so we're here to explore this practice, this spiritual path. And more importantly, we're here to understand ourselves, right, more deeply. Even the monks and nuns, we are learning about ourselves every day. And when we can understand and love ourselves, we can understand and love other people. And we're also here to transform our suffering. All of us have some sort of suffering or pain in our body, in our mind, that we want to take care of, or we want to change. And when we're able to transform our suffering, then we can find the freedom, right? And especially if we practice the 5 mindfulness trainings, it helps us to find that kind of freedom. For instance, when we practice not killing, then we felt our heart is free. We don't feel like burdened because we have to kill in order to eat, because here we eat vegetarian. Or when we don't take other people's possession, then we also feel at peace because our mind is pure. So with some young people here, I think we have at least 30 teens, right? How many of you are teens? Can you raise your hand? Yeah, there's quite a lot of you. And some of you have seen when you were children, you were in the children program in other retreats, and now you are teens. And some of the teens now are in the adult program. I just have at least 2 friends in my Dharma sharing group, in the young people group, that were children and teens before when they come here. So I want to share a little bit about mindfulness and also our consciousness. It might look difficult to understand, but it's not that difficult. But once you're able to learn about the consciousnesses, then you can understand your mind better and how it functions. So with the picture here, we see that the stored consciousness is like the basement of our mind. It contains everything, all the knowledge we need to know, all the good seeds, and all the unwholesome seeds that have not been watered. And what manifests up in the mind consciousness is when something has been watered. That's why we have the 5 senses: the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind. But the mind is the mind consciousness. So when we hear something, then that seed is touched in our stored consciousness, and it come up like a little plant. And that's called mental formations or mental states. So the mental states, we have at least 51, according to our teacher and other Zen masters. There are 51 mental formations, and some of them are very good mental formations, and some of them are not so good. We call them unbeneficial, and the other one are beneficial. So in our daily life, when we have mindfulness, then we are more careful of what we water so that we don't touch the unwholesome seeds that are down there. And we try to touch more of the wholesome seeds. So our sense consciousness, like the eye consciousness, the ear consciousness, the nose consciousness, the tongue consciousness, it helps us to see things and perceive them, or to hear things and to make a judgment of it. For instance, you're listening to my Dharma talk, or you're listening to your friends' conversation, and you have certain thinking coming up or certain notion coming up. It's because some seed down in your store consciousness is being watered. So the sense consciousness that's what they're doing. In the mind consciousness, it helps us to plan, to think, and to decide. But the mind consciousness, which is like the living room where things manifest, without that sun, without that mindfulness, then the mind consciousness sometimes just operate in its usual way, and it might operate according to its habits. For instance, you see somebody and you might or might not like them because there's certain seed down in your store consciousness that kind of discriminate and differentiate. So that is we call the manas, or the ego, the manas. It's like the interference. It's like when you wear sunglasses with different color, then you see things with different color, right? So the manas kind of obscure some of our view, because you know why? Because the manas is the brain that's back here. We call the lizard brain. Have you heard of it? The lizard brain. And that is the primitive brain. Before human evolved into this Homo sapien, we were other animals and amphibian. When you say it, how you say that? Yeah, amphibian. And they, so the manas is like that. It's the ego. It kind of affects how we live our life and how we see things. And it has this ego. It clings to the self and say, this is mine, this is me, and that's you, and that's yours. And it kind of distorts things, and that's the main source of suffering. So when we lack of mindfulness, the manas, it kind of interfere, and it distort things. And it borrow things to make a picture of things. Like there's a story of the Buddha. He shared about this wealthy person. He invites some friends to come. Some of the people he know to come, but they cannot see. So he brought out an elephant, and he let each of them touch like the ear of the elephant, and some of them touched the trunk, and some of them touched the tail of the elephant. And he asked them, what do you think this animal is? And what do you think this animal look like? And then one person said, oh, it looks like a fan, because they touched the ear and it's very big. And the other one say, oh, this animal look like a trunk or a tree or somehow, because they touched the trunk of the elephant. So our manas is like that. When we see things, it kind of bring another image, and it makes us kind of think and decide. The other day, I was visiting the new nunnery. I took me and my sister. We went and for some new monk to see the resident. So we went around and around, exploring all the rooms, and at night, somehow I have this dream of going to the root temple, and I couldn't find my way out. And I woke up and I say, weird, how come I have this dream, And then I just realized it's because that afternoon I went to see the nunnery, and it was kind of dark inside, so every time we go through a certain room, we have to turn the light. So I couldn't figure out my way. So at night, the manas kind of operate with the mind consciousness and make this dream. So sometimes we go through the day like that. We have certain image of things, of people. In the store consciousness, I already shared that it keeps and maintains all the seeds. So when we understand that, we know that when we have mindfulness, like Thầy Pháp Lạc have shared yesterday, we're able to recognize things and call them by its true name. Because if we don't call it by its true name, we might call it by another name. And the Buddha say that 99% of our perceptions are not correct. We have to ask ourselves, are you sure? We have to look again. So when we have mindfulness, we use it to recognize and to identify things. Identify what's going on in our mind, identify what's going on in our body. And then we can embrace whatever is coming up for us, like our suffering, our joy, our peace, or our despair. And we can care for it. So the second part I want to share about is concentration. So when we have enough mindfulness, then somehow automatically concentration will come. Like when you do sitting meditation, at first you might not feel focused. But after you sit for a while and you can be still, then you have concentration. And the more concentration you have, the more mindfulness you have. And so concentration is like that lens. When the sun goes through it, it can burn the paper. So that's how concentration works. If you put the lens in the sun, and with a thin piece of paper, if the sun is strong enough, then it can burn the paper. So concentration, it can also help us to break through our suffering. Sometimes we have suffering that we don't know how to get out of. So with the practice of mindfulness, it helps us to look deeper and to understand our suffering. And we can be still and we can be present for our body, our feelings, our mental states, our perceptions, and our consciousnesses. So the 5 components of ourselves are the body, the sensation, the mental state, perceptions, and consciousnesses. So when we practice, that's what we focus on. We focus on looking inward to ourselves and to see how our mind is, how our body is, and what are we thinking right now. We can check in with ourselves. And, it's automatic. I just slide my hand. So when we have balance between the body, the feelings, the perception, and the consciousness, then we have well-being. A lot of people might ask, what is well-being? What is a healthy mind? So a healthy mind is when our body and mind, they are balanced. Just like we have the 4 elements in ourselves, right? The wind, what else? The fire, water, and the air, right? So if these 4 elements, when they're off balance, and what do you have? Sickness, right? Let's say you're too cold, you have too much air. In Vietnamese, we have to do this scraping out the wind, or the what do you call it? Anyway, we have to take the wind out. If you have too much wind, you have to take it out. Otherwise, you get sick. Or if you have too much heat, like in the summer, you have to cool it down, right? Or if you have too much stagnation because of the water, of the dampness, you also have to clear it out. So our body is like that. When we're not balanced with the 4 elements or the 5 components, they're not balanced, then we have some kind of imbalance. And then we have suffering, right? Let's say we're feeling tired. Our feeling tell us that you need to rest. But you continue to work and you continue to go out there and to do like vigorous, work or exercise, and then your body just like feel exhausted because it wants to rest, right? So it's like that. If your body and your feelings, they're not working with each other, then it can cause suffering. So when we have concentration, then we have this seed of compassion that come up in us that can take care and embrace whatever's going on within us. And that includes unwholesome seed and bad habit energies. Talk about the habit energies. They are something that are passed on to us from our ancestors. So the stored consciousness, it kept all the seeds. And these seeds are from the time we were born. We have these traits, we say, or we have this habit because it's passed on from our parents, right? Or when we go to school, we also ingrain new habit. Or when we go to work, then we have this new habit, right? So when we have enough mindfulness and concentration, it helps us to accept whatever habit energies we have and to work on it. And the new year is a good time to come back to ourselves and to look deeper, to see what kind of habit energies you like to work on. And they're not necessarily going to change. It's very hard to change a person's habit. So we just know that we have that habit energy or that habit, and then we can recognize it when it comes up so that that habit doesn't bring us more suffering. For instance, if we have the habit of reacting to some people, when they say something, then we can come back to ourselves and we can breathe and we stop ourselves from saying things to that person. So the concentration we can keep cultivating in this retreat so that it can be deeper. When you have the time to practice meditation, while you walk, while you eat, while you sit, then our concentration will grow. And the fruit of the concentration will bring insight. Insight is something we can call wisdom. Insight helps us to look deeper into our body and mind and to understand the causes and conditions. So in Buddhism, there are 4 types of conditions, or we say 4 duyên. Yeah, the 4 conditions. So the first one is the root condition, nhân duyên, right? Like the main cause. And the second one is sở duyên, which is the object as condition. For instance, if we see something, if we see the fire, then immediately we have some fear. Let's say the building is on fire. You see that, and immediately you have this fear coming up. So that is like the object condition. Or tăng thượng duyên, which is the condition that helps things to grow. And the last condition is conditioned for things to continue. So when you want to plant a tree or a plant, you need to have continuous condition. For instance, you have to keep watering the plant and keep fertilizing it and not just leave it there, right? So when we look deeply into our body and mind and we understand the causes and the conditions that brought the suffering, or when we see how we can cultivate happiness or joy or peace, and we know what causes that, we can help the positive mental formations to grow. And again, I already shared that if we can harmonize our 5 skandhas or our 5 components, then we will have the equilibrium, we will have the well-being in our body and mind. So let us enjoy one sound, the bell. So when we talk about insight, I just remember there was a question yesterday about how to practice with technology, right? Technology and iPhones and whatnot, and how not to be like glued to it. Like when I first came to Plum Village in '96, there were no Wi-Fi. Or back in the days when I was growing up and going through my university in America, there's no Wi-Fi. There's only the internet. And I remember when I have to do my my paper, I need to like go to the library and to work on that paper and submit, to my teacher. I don't have my own laptop. And there were no cell phones. So if you could remember that we used to play a lot of board games, right? There's no, we call them, those games on the internet. So I think our mind was much quicker. I see now in my nieces and nephew, sometimes they're a little bit slower. I don't know if that's true. Maybe they're quicker at technology, but certain thing you ask them, like tricky question, like that they have to think more, then it takes more time for them to think. In Vietnam too, like if we want to play, we have to be creative and make up things in order to have games to play. So the internet was not introduced, the Wi-Fi was not introduced until maybe 98 or something. Yeah, maybe 97, 98. And I remember one brother, he's very skilled with technology. And he taught us about Wi-Fi and how to use the computer and how to use a USB even. I don't even know how to use USB. And everything was so new. But now our DNA at this time is like, technology is like exploding, right? You have to get the new iPhone. What is it now, 18 or 17? I think until last year, I still have iPhone 8. So sometime end of last year, somebody saw my phone cannot function. So they gave me a used phone that is a little bit higher so I can work on things. So when we talk about the manas earlier, it's like the ego. In that consciousness, it seeks pleasure. It likes to run after things that make it comfortable, because the lizard brain is there to help us survive. So therefore, we have to find the most comfortable place to live, the food that's good enough to eat, or the house is warm enough to stay in. So manas is always seeking pleasure. And it doesn't know the danger of seeking pleasure. So technology, if we're not careful, our manas will kind of run after that. And that's why it's important, especially for parents who have teens and kids, you can put a certain limit on that, because the children or even the teenager brain is still developing. You're not yet fully developed. So the certain way we might not be able to stop ourselves. So adult can supervise or put a time limit on the internet, on the Wi-Fi. And I see now also most young parents nowadays, they tend to babysit their babies with iPad. All my nieces and nephews, they are babysit with iPad. Every time I go home, I try to distract them from the iPad and play some game with them. But it's very difficult, because the parents nowadays are very busy, and you might not have time to just be there with children always. So you have to, let the iPad. But the internet, if we use it wisely and mindfully, it can be beneficial. Like if we use it for Dharma talks, or we use it as a learning device for your kids, then it's very beneficial. So we have to know the pro and con, and we have to know the moderation. So with mindfulness, it can help us to be more moderate in what we do. And I think in this retreat, our electronics were kept somewhere, right? The teens cannot use it. So I hope you do find something fun to be with your friends or with nature. Sometimes taking a break from electronics can be very helpful, because it helps us to be present with the person in front of us, with the people around us. So we have to find this moderation. I think that's the answer. There's no best way to do it, but you just do it in a way that can help you. And the other thing I want to talk about is when we practice mindfulness and concentration, then we can give rise to this insight of interbeing, because our manas has a tendency of separating ourselves from other people. So when we can touch that interconnectedness, we can see that our suffering also relating to the environment around us, or other people's suffering is somehow relating to us. Then we don't feel separate. And when we don't feel separate, we don't feel alone. We feel like there are people around us who practice with us. I'm very grateful to have all of you here and to have the Sangha to practice with. I think it's just the third day, and I can feel the energy of the Sangha is quite different. The first day, everyone's sort of trying to figure out what's going on, and there's still that energy of busyness coming in. But then slowly, we kind of letting go of that. And allow ourselves to be still, allow our mind to be still. When we can touch the interbeing nature, we can also touch impermanence. We know that thanks to impermanence, things can grow, right? Without impermanence, then the teen cannot grow into adult. Or the child cannot grow into a teen or adult. So our body is changing every second, even though we might not recognize it, but it's changing. I heard that every 3 weeks, our blood supply is already changed. So people who get blood, they already have a new supply of blood. So with that said, then we know that our blood affects how we think and how we do things. So nobody can stay the same. So when we can acknowledge that, we know that the other person also changed and we also change. And we welcome that change. We don't push that away. We might have some change in our physical body or in our mental state, but we accept that and we embrace that. We allow that to heal, allow that to change. And you see the brain there, the human brain is amazing. It contains, in our store consciousness, it contains everything that is out there in the cosmos. The reason why you can perceive the planets and all these abstract notions is because all of that is in your consciousness. Without that, we don't have great scientists. Without that, we don't have all these great philosophers or great teachers. Because the store consciousness contains everything. So if you know that, you can touch the greatness inside of you. You can become who you really want to become. When I was young, and I see the monks and the nuns that in the temple that I went to, when I study Buddhism there, I really admire this one nun. She's so peaceful. And the way she walked, the way she talked, it's like an angel somehow. And I say, oh, when I grow up, I want to be like her. But you know, my friends, they have different ideas. They all have different career they want to choose. And of course, I also have a career I want to choose, which is to become a teacher. So I studied that. But when I grew up, I realized that what I want to do in my life is to help transform myself. And I want to help other people transform themselves. And I want to help my ancestors to transform their suffering. Because my great-grandparents, my grandparents, and my parents, they all go through different kind of war in Vietnam. So I want to practice to transform some of their suffering, because I know those suffering also stay in me somewhat. So that's why I become a nun. But without that aspiration, then you can never achieve what you want to do. So no matter what aspiration you have, just work on it, allow it to grow, allow your mindfulness, your concentration, and your insight to nourish that seed so that you can become that. So at the end of the year, it's a time for us to reflect and to be still, to find that peace, so that we can recognize the wholesome seeds that are in our store consciousness, as well as the unwholesome seeds. And we take the time to water those seeds, allow it to grow, and we try not to let the unwholesome seed arise. And at the same time, we can work on our negative habit energies that we still have so that they can cause less suffering to ourselves and to other people. And the last thing is we can work on letting go of our wrong perception. Like I shared before, the manas, the ego, it can give us a lot of wrong perception about who we are, about who the other person is, about who the world is, what the world is about. So we can let go of our notions. We let go also of things that we don't need, right? It's called the clutters in our house or in our own mind. We can let go of the clutters so that we have more freedom, more space. So we can practice moderation and practice giving. When we can give, then it makes our heart open. And when we practice moderation, we can live more simply and enjoy life better. We have more time and space to enjoy life. So our teacher wrote this calligraphy, peace in myself, peace in the world. So you know that the more you cultivate peace in yourself, the more peace there is out there in the world. There was a friend last week, he shared that the more he can transform his suffering, then the more peace he will have. I find that very interesting, right? The more suffering he takes care of, the more peace he will have. And that stays in me. That's a very deep wisdom. So our teacher said, peace is present right here and now, in ourselves and in everything we do and see. Every breath we take, every step we take can be filled with peace, joy, and serenity. So I hope with the last 3 days that we have, or 2.5 days, that you will find some peace, some serenity, some happiness in the practice. Right now there's a group of Theravadan monks. They're doing the peace walk. How many of you heard of that? Yes. And they have started the peace walk the same day that we start the winter retreat here around November 8. And they start from Dallas, and they go through, I think, different states, Georgia, North Carolina, and the last destination is Washington, D.C. And they've been walking for almost 60 days on foot. And I find that very amazing. And just to know that there are people out there walking for peace, I can already feel the peace. I feel my heart is not burdened with a lot of things that are happening right now in our country. It's very amazing, even though they're far away, but we can touch the peace. We can feel the peace. And then just like this retreat, when we practice deeply, everyone can touch the peace, can feel the peace that is radiate from you or radiate from other person. So our practice is very important. So I hope you find peace. You can already touch peace right now and enjoy the few last day of the retreat. Thank you very much for listening.